What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be doing a top 5 list of heavyweights I'm excited to use in ESBC. This list is, of course, subjective, as it's just my personal opinion. Now, I am by no means a boxing savant. Guys like Fanatico and Showbiz probably have forgotten more boxing than I'll ever know. But this is just from what I know personally and things that I kind of go back and look at. Hope you guys enjoy the video, and if you do enjoy the video, go ahead and leave a like down below, and go ahead and comment your top 5 heavyweights so far in ESBC. And yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. I'll see you guys in about 3 seconds. Number 5, we have the Galveston Giant, Jack Johnson, coming in with an unofficial record of 54 wins, 11 losses, 35 wins by knockout. He holds wins over James J. Jeffries, Tommy Burns. He was the first black heavyweight champion of the world. He was a very precise fighter during that time. His style was very distinctive, where he'd have a more feel-out, patient approach in the beginning of the fight just to see how his opponents would react. He'd wait for them to make a mistake, and then after they make that mistake, he would just absolutely go crazy and blitz them. He turned into a very aggressive fighter throughout the rounds rather than coming straight out the gate aggressive. And he really fought to punish his opponents rather than just knock them out. So, for example, in his Tommy Burns fight, he'd be beating on Tommy Burns, and right when Tommy Burns is about to go down, he would actually hold him up just so he could punish him some more. So he was that type of fighter where he didn't just want to beat you, he wanted to embarrass you in the ring. And he fought during a time where it was heavily racist. So he would be actually fighting, and people would be calling him all sorts of racial slurs while he's in the ring. And he'd just be talking back to the crowd while he's beating the guy. I mean, Jack Johnson was incredible. To fight during that time that he fought, and to just go, he did not care. He would go at his opponents. And that is why he is number 5 on my list. Coming in at number 4 on my list is Riddick Big Daddy Bowe. Man with a record of 43 wins and 1 loss. That only loss coming to the Evander Real Deal Holyfield during their trilogy. He has 33 wins by knockout. He holds 2 wins over Prime Evander Holyfield, one of those coming by TKO, which is absolutely incredible. He's known for having a great jab. He used to disrupt his opponent's rhythm. He's a very good versatile fighter, meaning he was very good fighting inside and also very good fighting outside. He was actually pretty long and lanky, but he was actually able to fight inside very well for a range fighter. He was great at cutting off the ring and just stalking his opponents, which is absolutely terrifying, I can imagine, because he had bone-crushing power. Very good uppercut, extremely good uppercut. Very good jab, too. A lot of people say his jab was only rivaled at that time by Larry Holmes. So that's a very good company to have with a very good jab. So I assume that Larry Holmes, Riddick Bowe, and Muhammad Ali will probably have the best jabs in the game in the heavyweight division. He was also known for having his balls absolutely blasted by Andrew Golota in not 1, but 2 fights. Imagine fighting a guy who gets disqualified in 2 separate fights for blasting you in the nuts. Incredible. He should be higher on my list just for that. But we're going to keep him at number 4 for now. So let's go ahead and move on to number 3 on the list. Moving on to number 3, we have Larry Holmes, the Easton Assassin, with a record of 69 wins, 6 losses, 44 wins by knockout. He holds wins over Ken Norton, Muhammad Ali, Ray Mercer, and Ernie Shavers. Known for having one of the best jabs in boxing history, certainly one of the best jabs in the heavyweight division at the time. He had a granite chin, he's very tall and athletic and lanky. He won his first 48 fights, nearly matching Rocky Marciano's record of 49-0 at the time. Just had some incredible fights during his run in the heavyweight division. He basically dominated the heavyweight division for about 7 years. Pretty much only Michael Spinks gave him trouble, I believe, during that time frame. Incredible chin, I think, too. I think he doesn't get enough respect for how tough he was, so he should have a really good chin in ESBC, I would hope. If you guys haven't seen Holmes versus Shavers 2, he takes up Shavers' right hand straight to his dome, straight to the chin. If you guys don't know who Ernie Shavers is, most heavyweights regard him as the hardest puncher they have ever faced, at least in this era when he was fighting. One of the hardest punchers they had ever faced. So just imagine how hard this guy hits. skull-crushing power, and he takes one straight to his chin from Ernie Shavers, and he gets up, and he wins, and he survives that round, and he wins that fight. I don't know how he got up from that punch from Ernie Shavers. I'll probably clip it in here so you guys can see. I don't know how he got up. That's beyond me, but he did. And he's just an incredible fighter. Even at 42 years old, when he fought Ray Mercer, after Ray Mercer had recently knocked out Tommy Morrison cold, he comes in against Ray Mercer, and he's beating the brakes off Ray Mercer. He turns to the camera during the fight and tells the cameraman, "I'm not Tommy Morrison," while he's fighting Ray Mercer. So you know this man is something special, man. So I'm really excited that ESBC was able to grab him and get him in this game. I can't wait to use him. And yeah, man, let's go ahead and move on to number 2. Moving on to number 2 on the list, we have the greatest, Muhammad Ali, coming in with a record of 56 wins, 5 losses, 37 of those wins by knockout. He holds wins over Sonny Liston, George Foreman, and Joe Frazier. Known as the GOAT by many, he has incredible speed and magnificent footwork, just fantastic defense, nice slips and counters, beautiful counters straight or across, whichever one you prefer. He was basically a magician at managing distance. He's very, very good at just barely escaping from some of these punches just because he was so good at managing distance. He favors his 1-2 combination, as many probably know from Fight Night Champion, as he probably gotten destroyed by it plenty of times. Also, he was very good at basically just taking your will away, essentially. You would think you have all the right tools to beat Muhammad Ali, and then once you get into the ring against him, you would realize he's just making you look dumb in there. He's just evading all your punches. He's talking to you. Just demoralizing, and that is why he lands as number 2 on my list. Coming in at number 1 on the list is one of my favorite fighters of all time, the Brown Bomber Joe Louis. Coming in on a record of 66 wins, 3 losses, 52 of those wins by knockout. He holds wins over Billy Conn, James J. Braddock, and Jersey Joe Walcott. Joe Louis was a fantastic counter-puncher, regarded as one of the best fighters of all time. Most people have him 1 or 2 on their all-time heavyweight list. He was excellent at closing the gap to his opponent without compromising his position or balance, which basically means he was able to hunt you down pretty well without basically rushing in and getting caught with something on the other end. And contrary to Muhammad Ali's style of very flashy, nice slips and counters, Joe Louis was basically a master of the basics of boxing. So he had no flash among his game, but he was a master of the basics. So it didn't even matter if he was flashy. He could knock you out with your basic 1-2 setup, basic jab, right hand. It didn't matter. He would just knock you out. He had a killer right hand. He used his jab very well, set up the right hand. He was very good at avoiding his opponent's jab while he used his own jab to set up that big right hand. And for the opponents who thought they could just rush in and try to take him out, his check left hook was very, very good. I'm hoping that's something that they get into ESBC. Hoping he has a very good check hook in the game as well. And that is going to conclude my list. I hope you guys enjoyed. Once again, this is subjective, so this isn't the greatest 5 heavyweights of all time. This isn't the 5 best fighters in ESBC. This is just the 5 fighters that I am most excited to use in ESBC. So if you guys enjoyed the list, go ahead and drop me a like below. Comment down below. I want to see who you guys have as your top 5 heavyweights that you're excited to use in ESBC. And go ahead and hit that subscribe button because more videos are coming. Almost at 20 subscribers, and I appreciate everyone who supported me so far. I appreciate it very much. Our last video has over 100 views, which for me is absolutely incredible. So I appreciate all of that very, very much. So if you guys could hit that subscribe button and help me out, that would be fantastic. My next video will be a top 5 list. I'm going to combine the cruiserweight and the light heavyweight division just because they're both not too filled out yet, even though there's a lot of killers in both. So I'm going to go ahead and do that video next, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Take it easy.